You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You really showed him.
We got him. Classic Blackburn bean alley-oop.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Hey, Pete, I feel like I haven't spoken to you in forever.
Yeah.
We actually haven't seen each other in forever.
We had a Back in Time episode.
That's true.
And it's been 2 weeks since we've had a real episode because of the Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
So here we are.
We should have played that Huey Lewis song, the Back in Time. They're huge in the time travel
the genre.
music
Yes.
genre. You look good. You're wearing a shirt that you're wearing like an oversized flannel, and that gives you just like that I've got a body to me look.
Well,
you know?
I'm glad that I have it.
Yeah. Makes you look wide.
I've been doing some TV / like web stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big confusion between whether a web show and it is a TV show these days.
Nobody knows the difference
Yeah,
between
so,
those two things.
So I've been doing a lot of that for CBS, and
Yeah.
I've quickly realized that I don't have a lot of dress shirts.
Ooh.
Because they require that. I've tried to get away with it. I tried to be the cool guy who doesn't wear the collared shirt.
Yeah.
That lasted for 2 days. They were like, "Hey, please wear a collared shirt when you come on the show."
Right, unless you're doing like a Henley and a blazer, but you need some.
So I've quickly realized that I don't have a lot of rotating options.
Can I tell you something?
What?
This episode is brought to you by J. Crew Factory. I'm not a big J. Crew guy, quite frankly. J. Crew might be the most disappointing store in the world. You always walk by, you're like, cool, J. Crew, let me poke my head in there, and you're like, I wanted to give you guys money, you idiots. Why didn't you have even one thing that I was trying...
There are so many stores like that where
Yeah.
it's like, let me see what this place is about, and I'm like fully prepared to spend money, and I'm just like, ugh, no.
A few weeks ago, I went shopping with my mom because a gift that she gave me for Christmas was... She was going to buy me something, either like a suit or a blazer or something. Very cool move on her part because really it was one of those gifts to herself. She got to fucking spend a whole day with Brave Dave. Great move on her part. And we had that experience. We're going to all these stores and we're like, yo, we're trying to buy stuff. Just give us something that we could want to buy. But J. Crew Factory, you get dress shirts there. They're not very expensive. And they're nice. They have the cool kind of in-between colors, like the Jim Halpert dress shirt colors. You know, he wears a lot of, is it gray? Is it like green? Is it, you know? So I've
never noticed his shirts, or maybe
Really?
in the later season because
they really get him into those.
Yeah, and I think they like tone down his hair, like they make his
Yeah.
hair presentable in the later
Yeah.
seasons. I was way too distracted by how shitty his hair was at the beginning.
I was talking to a friend the other day
not an adult
about
haircut.
how tragically heterosexual I am. And I was saying, like, I love John Hamm so much. I think he's so handsome. But if somebody were like, okay, time for you to have sex with John Hamm, I'd be like, that doesn't doesn't feel like what my body is gonna do, you know?
Especially not with John Hamm. That shit's not gonna fit.
That's right. Well, depending on what's going where, I could die. So looking out for my own safety. And she was like, wow, John Hamm, huh? And I was like, yeah. And I thought it was the thing where straight girls have this weird thing where they don't understand how hot John Hamm is. And she thought that I was talking about John Krasinski. And I was so offended that somebody could think that I would look at John Krasinski and be like, "Rrrr."
That might be like the biggest like misinterpretation of something ever.
Right.
There's a very large gap between John Hamm and John Krasinski.
Because sexually, I could for sure hang with John Krasinski.
But
John Hamm, no.
I also feel like there are so many girls that think John Krasinski is like the hottest shit ever, and it's just because they love
It's
Jim.
because they're heterosexual, so they have
don't know
some
any
level
better.
of right. So as heterosexual people, they're automatically dumber than everybody else. No, like because they're heterosexual, so I think that you kind of project on what kind of relationship you could have with that person, and
Jim.
you kind of
Jim
build
effect.
in sorts of feelings and things like that, you know. So I mean, how many times do you hear when someone sees like when a man is talking about an actress something like, you know, she would just be the type that like you could just live in a whatever and you could do this, and it's like, hey, you guys don't know each other. I think it's a lot easier when you're not actually sexually attracted to the person to just be like, okay, good forehead, nice ears, kind of bring down that whole sorts thing. So anyway, if you want to get some cheap, usable dress shirts, J. Crew Factory. But again, not a big J. Crew guy. I do have some news for the time that we've been away from each other. I recently quit smoking.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that is doubly surprising news because one, I didn't know you were smoking.
Yeah. Oh, I smoked for honestly, couple hours there.
Well, it's very, very brave of you, very on brand.
Yeah.
For you to quit smoking,
share my truth,
share your truth, and also quit smoking. Very courageous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bit of news does check out because the one time that I've been to Atlanta with you, smoking happened.
But we weren't smoking.
Yeah, we were.
Were we?
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
No, we weren't.
It's that
no,
everybody...
You are correct. Everybody else was around us, and we woke up the next morning feeling like we smoked.
Yes, right. Okay, so now,
That's
now
where
you're...
my confusion comes from.
Right.
Because I had the morning after of, wow, it felt like I smoked.
So
last night.
I was in Atlanta for a week, and the thing about Atlanta is most bars you're allowed to smoke. So most bars... Everybody's smoking. They take that opportunity. It's not like, you know how there's no smoking in bars and stuff? It's not like because the smokers thought, you know what? I won't smoke in here.
Right.
If you were to say, hey, you're allowed to smoke right now, they'd smoke like crazy.
Yeah.
So, bars in Atlanta, tons of smoke. So I was out at a bar in Atlanta and feel a little saucy, figured I'm gross anyway. I smell like smoke. Why
you got
not?
a smoker look going on. Especially right now. You've got the beanie sort
I think
of
I got
hanging off.
I smoke like a smoke pot look going on right now.
It's either one.
Yeah, I'm doing a beanie. I'm starting to take to beanies, especially the brunch beanie. Really,
man.
that one. The brunch beanie has the right like length and shape and everything. I've been trying to wear some other beanies lately. It just doesn't do the trick.
Yep.
Black beanie with a little bit of... It's the Friends one. This episode brought to you by Brunch. Buy that because, at least for me with the long hair, it kind of works.
Yep.
But to complete the image for those wondering what a smoker's look is, I'm wearing my Texas Longhorns shirt that we got in Texas, and I'm wearing a... what would this be called?
A polo zip-up.
Like a
zip-up hoodie.
You know what I call it? Do you wear quarter zips much?
No, I'm more of a full zip-up guy.
Yeah, my guy Tommy Giles wears quarter zips a lot.
He does.
And
He's
just
an
like
all-American beauty.
so white. Yeah. So you know what I call that look?
The Giles.
I call that the QT and the QZ because
What's the QZ?
Quarter zip.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
I don't know if you guys have met Tom Giles or know what he looks like. Real cutie.
Oh yeah.
Just screaming cute. So anyway, one night I just smoked a bunch of cigarettes until like 4 a.m, and I wasn't like partying till 4 a.m. I wasn't like doing crazy stuff till 4 a.m.
You're just enjoying the act of smoking cigarettes.
Just
until
like
4
sitting in a bar, just.
I really wish that cigarettes weren't so disgusting.
I
because
know.
the act of smoking cigarettes is cool.
So that's the thing.
You feel cool while doing it.
I had to get buzzed to get to the point where my
convince
body
yourself?
could tolerate the idea of doing such a disgusting thing. But it was like, you're going to smell like smoke anyway.
That's
you
true.
might as well.
And as we learned last time, you're going to feel like you smoke cigarettes, so you might as well smoke cigarettes.
And you know what's crazy? The next morning, I didn't feel bad.
Really?
So I'm sick now. Just given the hours and planes and walking around a lot and not drinking any water.
You're always going to get sick.
I broke the world record for not drinking water in Atlanta. Every morning I would wake up not feeling sick, and I was like, it was like in John Wick. You know, when he
Big
says
John Wick guy
like
now.
you don't want me to owe you.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne's like, okay, you owe me now, and he's like, dude, big mistake. I was like, I feel like God is gonna one day be like, yo, you owe me. You were supposed to be sick that whole week. But naturally, as soon as the Super Bowl started, like as soon as it was foot to football, as soon as it was third leg Greg to who makes footballs, Wilson, I just was immediately sick and have been absolutely terrible since. But yeah, so for a couple hours, I smoked cigarettes, but I've given it up.
Well, Over the course of this conversation, I realized that I too have quit smoking.
Yes?
Yes, I had a victory cigar after the Patriots won the Super Bowl. So,
And how have you been doing?
it's been a journey.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. My life means too much. I've realized the important things in life are not worth risking over smoking.
Congratulations to everybody, smokers, non-smokers, New England Patriots, everyone.
How was the Super Bowl week?
It was good. It was good. That's my scene, man. I like just.
It seems like the best time ever.
I like just being dropped into a place where the only thing I have to do is just come up with stuff and execute it. And not all of it's going to be executed. Not all of it's going to be a good idea. For example, I suggested a video to my boss called Sports Talk with cigarettes. And it's just like us talking about sports, except we're smoking cigarettes. Couldn't find anybody else who would want to participate in that with me. My boss didn't think it was a good idea. Whole lot of, hey, glad you thought that was funny, but that's not going to happen. Like, people would have to shoot it, meaning that they would get all this secondhand smoke.
Yeah, it seems not a good idea for 2019. Like 1988, you would have been a fucking millionaire.
Oh, well, I would have been a
Rich.
sex symbol.
Yes.
They would have been like, oh, I see all those guys talking about sports, but who's that guy? Who's that guy doing the cigarettes while he's
It's wild that like didn't exist.
Supposedly, when I pitched it, somebody said that, so it would look like whatever. And it was like an old sports talk show where like they have ashtrays there and they're just like ripping butts as they're doing it, which is exactly what I was suggesting. So, yeah, but I like that. And there's, you have to worry about fewer things like I don't know, like waking up and like the people in your life and just everything. It's nice just
It seems like fake life for a week.
Oh, definitely fake life. But it was a very fun time. I like doing that. I'd thought about tweeting about CBS lacking in its coverage and saying if only you guys had sent one more person. But it would so clearly look like whenever I want to say anything on your behalf, it would just look like
that you were
put
asking
me
for
up to
me.
it.
Yeah.
You put me up to it, you know?
Yeah.
So I got your back in an argument on Twitter.
Yeah, man, you really got my back.
A couple days ago. I was going to say the Super Bowl one, but also
What Super Bowl one?
The pants one.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, I was going to text you and be like, "Hey, classic alley-oop, huh?" So what would somebody said to you?
Somebody said, I said like, ooh, it was a video of people on the train going to the Patriots parade, and I was just like, ugh, yikes! Imagine just being somebody trying to get to work. It's got to be like the worst feeling in the world because there was people on a train singing "Sweet Caroline."
Yeah,
just an absolute hell on wheels. And so somebody replied and was like, "Oh, imagine what it's like to live your entire life with a huge dump in your pants." And you replied,
"Hey, idiot!
Hey, idiot! Pete doesn't have a huge anything in his pants."
Slammed him for you.
Big time zinger.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
You really showed him.
We got him. Classic Blackburn bean alley-oop. I actually can't identify with that. When I covered the Bruins, I would always take the train home. And I was always on the drunk train because it was people who were coming back from the Bruins game. And that was just the worst. I would literally like curl up in a ball, like with my headphones on as loud as I could, and just try to hide. It was...
And I'm not like a party pooper or anything. Like, I enjoy a good time. And
I might be a little bit of a party pooper.
Like, I enjoy a good time. Like, if I'm one of those people... I do not give a shit about anybody else on the train other than my people.
Yeah.
But if you're in a sober situation, just like especially trying to get to work, it just seems like an absolute miserable thing. What CBS? What thing were you talking about where you had my back?
Where you tweeted something making fun of Wade Phillips. Again, there's that classic Blackburn Bean dynamic because my entire 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl were C.J. Anderson fat jokes, Wade Phillips old jokes. 90% Wade Phillips old jokes. I turned everything back to how Wade Phillips is old. I did a 2-minute talk show with Randy down there, and my monologue was Hey, everybody, I ran into Wade Phillips just a couple hours ago, defensive coordinator of the Rams. I told him, hey, congratulations on a great season. You had a lot of success. You've had just such a great career. Go get him Sunday against the Pats. And he said, what? Because he's old. And that
Nailed
was,
it.
yeah, just go. Just like burned him. You got to know. See, by the way, Wade Phillips
Is he that old?
way younger than I thought.
I
He's
don't think-
71.
yeah, he's not that old.
We did
he doesn't
a-
even look like he's like on the verge of dying old.
You said it was
even
Wade
remember.
Phillips jumping up and down, and you said something about an early bird special,
yeah.
which I'll tell you, as someone who's pretty big in the Wade Phillips old joke game, that was just like a B minus, but I still liked it. I gave it I was like, oh hell yeah, we're making fun of Wade Phillips for being old. Let's do it. And our guy RL Ryan Lambert
yes.
turned it into a Belichick voted for Trump thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, it's football.
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately,
I was
everyone
not
voted for
trying to
Trump.
have a MAGA discussion during Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, we still did it though.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Briefly.
I jumped in there though. We yeah.
I grabbed a screenshot and
Yeah.
just replied, and then I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. Speaking of pissing people off, who's more insufferable, Patriots fans or people who don't like the Patriots? Because they've both reached crazy highs, and I actually think the answer is people who don't like the Patriots, which is wild because
Well-
Patriots fans can be terrible.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Patriots fans have been terrible for like the last 5 to 6 years.
You know what you're getting.
It's plateaued.
Yeah.
The hate against the Patriots only seems to rise. So I think it's a little bit more insufferable because that just keeps growing.
You know who sucks?
Who?
I don't know how to say his name. Drew McGarry.
Yeah.
So
I like Drew McGarry.
So I know you do. I was gonna
Yeah.
call. I'm calling you out. I looked at. I looked at who follows him that I follow, so I can be like, who can I ask about? Why do you follow this guy? You are on the list. Why do you follow that guy?
Because he's funny and he's a good writer.
Oh no, he's not a good writer.
He's a good writer.
He's not a good writer.
He's a good writer. I did not like his Patriots thing.
I was gonna say. So every time I've read him, it's been like a get a load of what this guy wrote, and. In classic, I wrote about fashion. He overwrites like crazy. His sarcasm isn't funny.
He
He's not like he's not a funny person. He's not a clever person. The jokes that he makes, the examples that he uses for things are so I compared it to someone who's like, oh well, you would think that because you're a millennial. He's just a young version of that.
he's not like a super clever
No,
PFT style, I'm gonna pull this wild ass reference
Right.
and blow your mind sort of way. But I think that he's very funny. I will say it's been a while since I've read anything that has
Knocked
really
your
wowed
socks
me
off?
from
Yeah.
him. But he also almost just died.
really.
Yeah, so
Why?
maybe he's recovering.
Was this a poor choice to do the Drew McGarry sucks segment?
Yes.
How did he almost die?
He had some sort of incident after the Deadspin Awards and was basically in a coma.
Really?
Yeah. I got to look up what actually happened, but it was kind of fucking wild.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah, well, you're already on record as saying you hate Drew McGarry. So
Oh no,
can't-
I
can't
know.
walk back on
I
it
think
now.
I think that he's not good at his job. I'm certainly hoping the best for him. But yeah, that guy's not funny.
I'm trying to figure out what happened here.
He's also been mean to some good people that I know.
Well, he really doesn't like Barstool, for sure.
Oh well, that's not it. When
yeah.
someone's
No,
mean to Barstool,
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know,
I get it. You're
yeah.
going with the crowd, whatever.
Yeah,
or maybe
same.
they've done something that offended you.
Same.
Well, I'm glad that he's okay. I hope that he continues to get better.
Well, I mean, I think he's fine now,
Okay.
but
I really
he had
don't
a-
like his work.
He had a very close run-in with death.
So what? Was it an accident? Did something hit him?
It was an accident. Is Drew McGarry on leave from Deadspin after accident? He posted some sort of update, but it was like a health scare or something.
Well, I genuinely feel bad that this is that I brought up his lack of talent at this time, but this is something that that just in the back of my mind, whenever I saw something that he writes, whenever it's hey, check out this, I've always thought, for a pretty popular guy, he's not very good, and so I'm sorry. I feel bad for the timing, but yeah, I do believe that he's not very good.
Okay, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, so Deadspin in general, I think.
We know your
pretty
opinions.
sucky.
We know your opinions on Deadspin. Yeah, I mean, like,
is there a more disingenuous operation than Deadspin?
No, I think that some of their stuff is still good. I kind of like the way that they approach like sports coverage a lot of the time, but I also feel like they are on their high horse a lot more than they should be.
Absolutely. So that's my thing. For a website that you'd see plenty of times, they would just like they were as inappropriate as anyone, and they would take cheap shots at women and stuff like that. And now that that's not fashionable, they're the hey, something's wrong with everybody else website, and I think that's terrible.
And the staff has changed so much over there that it's almost not the same Deadspin as before.
Who's the girl that was mean to Charlotte? I think that it's Deadspin.
Yeah, no, I think that it is.
Said like note to like women in the sports media, don't be like Charlotte or something.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, note to anybody, be yourself.
Just because she had Big Cat and PFT on her show.
Well, also because Charlotte's growing in popularity, I think, could be a big part of that as well.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the response to like that, the reason that she said that was like, "Don't be like Charlotte," was because that she associated or aligned herself with Big Cat and PFT.
Right. Don't dislike Charlotte because she associates with Big Cat and PFT. Dislike Charlotte because she associates with us.
Yes,
okay?
Exactly.
Let's get one thing straight here.
Hey, DJ, did you know that 66% of men lose their hair by age 35?
Not the ones that I hang out with.
Yeah, that's true. I actually feel like my hair is like receding.
Is it?
On this side of my head.
I had this conversation with someone who has had hair transplants.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, and I was saying, I'm like, sometimes I get the feeling that maybe something's going on. And he was like, nah, you're good. And I know that just because he's had hair transplants does not make him a doctor or anything.
Expert, yeah.
But I was like, ooh, I went outside, had a cigarette about it. I was so relieved.
That is such a good vote of confidence. Maybe it's just like the natural way of things, but my hairline is not where it was a year or two ago. And that's very, very concerning. So when you start to notice hair loss, oftentimes it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than replace the one you've lost it. So is that hair loss slowly starting to move backwards? Well, you got to do something about it. And what you might want to do about it is go to forhims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, skin care, and sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors that bring the doctor to you. And they give you medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. You know the deal. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. That's a no-go from us.
Hate them.
Yeah, exactly. Prescription solutions which are backed by science. You can avoid the waiting room. You don't have to go to the doctor. Save hours by going to forhims.com. Just answer a few quick questions. A doctor will review your case and prescribe you what you need to fix that bad hair or bad thing in your pants. So, order now. If you listen to this show, you're going to get a trial month of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. See the website for full details, but it would cost hundreds if you went to a doctor or pharmacy. Instead, go to forhims.com/brunch. That's forhims, forhims.com/brunch. forhims.com/brunch.
You know what I've been doing of late? Like for months now, I would say.
Smoking cigarettes?
No, I've quit. Just watching one movie over and over and over again. Like 3 million times.
I know, and it's very easy to tell which movie that you've been watching because you only talk about it.
So I went from
It's honestly impressive because you'll watch one movie over and over and over again and find a way to make that like a point of reference for no
I
matter
can
what.
Stretch that dough, baby.
It is insane.
I did it with Baby Driver for a while. I mean, Mamma Mia 2, I'm pretty sure I'm still not done with. I'll probably dip back into that every now and then. But yeah, man, your boy's on a John kick.
Yeah, that's right. A John Stanton kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Wick 2, right?
John Wick.
Just regular John Wick?
I'll tell you, I've been renting them both. Just buy them, Dave. I should.
Yeah, man. I was
should
gonna
go
bring
to
that
Target,
up.
and I'm sure for like $10 they have like a Blu-ray double pack thing.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of starting a movie in my living room, and then you know what I do next?
You go to the bedroom.
I take it to the bedroom.
Yeah, baby.
I say,
You light a couple candles.
"Shall we go to the bedroom?"
Do you want to get more comfortable?
I say, "Ooh, you know what?" I don't say that when I'm moving to the bedroom. I'll tell you that. I don't say you want to get more comfortable.
You want to slip into something more comfortable?
That's. I think
I don't think
slipping-
any-
that's
I don't
like
think
a dressing thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
no,
going to say,
no.
like, if you're going from not having sex to having sex, describing that as do you want to get more comfortable, very, very off base.
It'd be such a great move to like say that, and she's like, thinks you're talking about
What do you
sex.
have, like velvet stuff in there? Yeah, you
No,
go in there.
she thinks you're talking about sex, and you're like, and
I got bathrobes
She
in
says,
there.
she says yes, and you're just like, all right, let's go get a pizza.
Yeah.
That's where my comfort level is at.
Let's loosen the belt a couple notches.
Let's smoke some cigarettes.
Oh yeah, that would be great to have a room that's just like the comfort zone, and it's just like I think I tweeted this, probably got no retweets. It was the smush room, but for eating in bed. It's just a room where there's a bed, maybe a TV, and you can eat in there. And like every day, you just like vacuum the top of the bed.
That's ridiculous.
I would rather have that than a smush room.
I mean, there is no reason to have a smush room.
There
That
is
so
there
disgusting.
is no reason to have a smush room.
So disgusting.
Especially that you're sharing with other people.
Yeah, it's-
Like how lazy are I mean, changing sheets can be a production. It takes me like 3.5 days to do. But having an entire room that's just like gross with sex all over it because you'd rather not change sheets, is that seemingly like why they have a smush room?
No, I think it's for privacy's sake. Because I mean,
They have roommates and they have bunk beds.
They have. We're talking about the Jersey Shore, just to get things
Of course,
straight, right?
yeah,
Okay.
we are always talking about Jersey Shore.
They have roommates in the rest of the house, and there are cameras in every bedroom in the rest of the house. So I believe this mushroom is for privacy's sake, for being alone.
But I thought that
and
during
being off
sex they have like it's like a night vision thing that you barely see the sheets moving, but there's subtitles going on. I would hate to be mic'd up during sex.
camera. Absolutely not. I do not need.
It would just be like, oh, sorry. Sorry.
Mamma
Sorry.
mia, here we go again.
No, it'd just be like light laughing and like, oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I believe that maybe if there was subtitles going on, it would be like the shot of the outside of the door.
Yeah.
I think that every night vision shot that they had was in one of like the televised bedrooms.
it would be great if like you just like lightly hear like circus music coming from it. It's like, and they're like, it sounds like a track's being played, but I think those cymbals are live. I believe they're hitting cymbals.
And they
there.
come out with like their hair all messed up and like cymbals.
And you're like, yep, sex.
Did it again, baby.
Yep. Ooh. Yeah, so I've been watching John Wick, and man, if that isn't body goals, he looks great. You don't think so?
I mean, like, I just think that he's a skinny guy. He's like a skinny guy.
No,
that's
he's
sort of
not
fit.
skinny. He is wide.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just like...
I mean, he wears a suit all the
he's
time.
big, and yeah, but in the first one, when he's hanging out with the dog, there's not too much hanging out with the dog scenes
If you
in
catch
the
my
first one.
drift.
Yeah. He's wearing pajamas, and you can tell a guy's body by how he wears pajama pants. Like, how that... Because it's kind of loose-fitting, but, like, how the material kind of falls off the buttocks. He... yeah, he's just like he's got a good frame in John
Good for
Wick.
him.
And you know what they call him?
John Dick.
They call him John Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick. They never call him John. They never call him. I know they call him Mr. Wick quite a bit. The guy, the concierge or whatever, concierge, whatever.
The guy from The Wire?
Whoa, it's the guy from The Wire just doing an accent.
Yep.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He rules.
Everyone in that movie is great.
Proud of you for watching John Wick again. I'm very excited for John Wick 3.
Yes.
Can't wait for that.
Although Boban is trash now.
Because he's on the Pistons?
He's on the Sixers.
Sixers, yeah, that's right.
Sixers keep trading for good players, and every time I'm like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But I
got
like
Tobias Harris and Boban.
But yeah, I saw that. But I like when the Sixers trade for good players because it gets their fans excited just to get heartbroken again.
Right. Like the Celtics
rules.
right now, even with all their mess, will beat
Destroy
the Sixers.
them.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because it's every time it happens, it's not even just Sixers fans. It's like the entire national media is like, ooh, Sixers the team to beat. It's like, no.
I like that we live in a world now where all bets are off as far as like being a good sport goes. Bleacher Report posted a picture of the Sixers' new Big Four, and they were like, favorites in the East, ? And Marcus Morris just commented on it, and he was like, are you kidding me? Like,
The NBA is so great.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
but like he's
about
not
anything.
doing it to like troll them or whatever. Like he just saw that, and he
He's
was
like,
like,
seriously?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, they don't seem very good.
It rules.
Crashing's back.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Crashing is back. It came as sort of a surprise, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw that it was advertised as going to come back. I didn't know the exact date.
A
And then
couple
all of
months
sudden it was
ago,
just here.
I binged it because I couldn't wait for it to come back. Then I forgot about it, and then it was just back. I love it so far.
Same. I think that it is. Think that I tweeted it out like a week or two ago, maybe after the first or second episode, because I think we're 3 deep now. But I think that it has become one of the most enjoyable, most consistent comedies on TV.
Yes, and it was so. I remember not loving it in season 1. I thought it was good, not great.
It was finding its footing.
Right, exactly. It had some episodes that you were just like, that wasn't amazing. But whatever, I'll watch the next one. Every episode, the last 2 seasons, has been good.
Well, I think where it really turned a corner was when it got to a point where like Pete was somewhat successful in stand-up. Because the first season, so much of it was spent, like, he was trying to get into stand-up, but guess what? He sucks. And, like,
Right.
there's only so much of that you can believe.
Yeah.
Because you're watching a fucking show.
No, I mean, people can do that for a million years.
No, I know, but, like, I'm saying when it's about Pete Holmes,
Right,
who's
you
a
know it's
famous
gonna end up-
comedian,
yeah.
you're watching his TV show on HBO
Yeah.
about his life. There's only so much of that where you can watch and be like, all right, we know that he's going to be successful. Let's get this show on the road. So I think the season suffered from that a little bit, and I know that they kind of had to do that, but the turning point was when he actually started to, like, be funny.
Yeah.
And like, sort of get in with the crowd, because so much of that show... so much of like my personal enjoyment in that show revolves around the cameos.
Yeah.
And so like once he started to get into the comedy scene, they were able to bring in all these cameos, and it became really, really cool.
One of my favorite characters, speaking of cameos, so far, and he's not super famous, but I loved this guy. Looked him up after. Haven't watched any of his stuff. Already forgot his name. But he was great. Is Modi,
Is that the Jewish guy?
the other Jewish guy. Not the guy that gets him the gig.
He's
The
like
guy...
the second Jewish
The guy that wears like the slimmest fitting suit anyone's ever worn, but he's like a little old to be wearing that suit. His whole like posture, his delivery, everything. I loved him. I thought he was so funny.
I thought both of those Jewish guys were fucking great in the episode where they performed at what is it, Temple?
It was
Jewish?
something at a temple,
something like
yeah.
that. They did like a stand-up gig
or a
at a temple.
synagogue, whatever, something.
I believe it's temple.
Yeah.
for Jewish people, but I could
pardon
be wrong.
my ignorance. Yeah, I just don't know.
But so they did a stand-up gig at this place of worship, and like these guys were so like resigned to the fact that that's what they do, and they were like sort of miserable about it, but like not insufferably miserable. They were just like, we could be doing a lot better. But this beats the alternative of like having a real job.
Oh, right, exactly. Because like it wasn't a Jewish thing; it was a comedian thing. They were just like miserable comedians.
Yeah.
Like when they're going through the food and everything, they're like, "How do you mess up fruit? They messed up fruit." Like that's
They're like, ooh, the food sucks. The food always sucks at these things.
I loved that. But yeah, big shouts out to Modi. I'm gonna look up some of his stuff. We also met 2 new significant others. Let's start with Allie's new boyfriend. Most painful scene anyone's ever watched ever. That guy sucks.
That guy absolutely sucks. And they
kept saying he
was
dreamy.
great. Yeah, they kept saying like, how great is he, huh? I was like, what?
That guy is an example of like having long flowing hair and still being ugly.
Yes.
That guy was,
because he was wearing like a suit.
but he was so weird. He didn't have the personality for that. I was offended watching that guy.
But I don't
I
think
was like,
he's
if you're gonna have that hair, bro, you better come with some goofiness.
But I think the point is that he's not supposed to have it.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. If they were like really trying to sell him as being like the hot shot that, wow, Allie's with him now, good for her.
I will say, Allie looks beautiful this season.
Allie is always beautiful.
When he met her and she was glowing because I think that
she's not having sex with Pete Holmes anymore.
She's not having sex with Pete Holmes anymore, but she's also doing well now. She's like on Seth Meyers and stuff,
not having sex with Pete Holmes.
just hitting the big 2. Everyone's goal.
And,
success, not having sex with Pete Holmes.
Yes, and if we're already on the topic, there are way too many Pete Holmes sex scenes in this season.
Jeff made the comparison to Girls. It was like the episode where he meets Kat is like a bit like an episode of Girls. The next episode starts with like 8 minutes of Pete Holmes having sex.
Yeah.
Cut that out, and I'll just
cut that
period
out.
On there.
Just do anything.
Cut that out.
Like just make the episode,
shorter.
8 minutes shorter.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's like, I know Pete Holmes is having sex.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's happening, and like, good for him. He should. Yeah. I'm not saying that Pete Holmes shouldn't have sex. I'm just saying I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. And it's not even like a he's ugly sort of thing. It's just like I don't want to see Pete Holmes having sex.
Right. Like sex is going to be the worst part of that show.
Yeah.
But he's having sex with his new girlfriend, Kat, who is a very interesting character. I like her a lot because you can't tell whether or not she's a good influence on him.
Oh, I know. I was actually... So I wanted you... So you didn't get caught up... What was the last episode? Like the third episode? I think it's the third episode.
There's been 3 episodes, yeah.
So that third episode, I needed you to watch it because I needed to talk about...
Whether or not that was cool?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that was cool.
No, I think there was like 3 different times during that episode which I would have been like, all right... Done.
Right.
Would have broken up with her. And like Pete thought it was the
says,
greatest thing in the world.
You after. Yeah,
I was like, what?
So he's a comedian and he was just rejected from the Comedy Cellar. And she says you have to go to the Comedy Cellar. We have to buy tickets, sit there, and show your commitment. And he was like, hey, just kind of having been around the scene before.
That's not something people do.
Right, like that's not something that people do. People would think that that you're
desperate.
Like that you're desperate or whatever. And she's like, oh, come on, just do it. And he's coming at it from he's making an informed decision, and she's
He
doing
knows
the
the world.
Oh, like whatever.
Well, I think her heart's in the right place. She's like, you got to show initiative, and
Right.
like in like any other job situation, that's a really good thing to be like. You face rejection, but you're still showing initiative. You're still showing like a drive that you
But
really
here's the thing,
want this.
If you apply for a job and you interview for it and you're rejected, say it's a sports writing job or something, and you don't get the job, your move is to go and try to get as much experience as you can. So go to as many events as you can, try to cover as many different things. You don't go to that office as often as you can and watch the other people work. So her heart was definitely in the right place, but
she has no understanding of the
he went
world.
along with it. It proved to be a very embarrassing thing for him. She then told off a bunch of the comedians.
That was the most cringeworthy part
which
of it.
Wasn't even so inappropriate.
Wasn't even sitting in the crowd. It was after the fact when he talks to a group of comedians, and I think like the most embarrassing part of it was that she was like, he's so funny, and like that is so embarrassing to have like your significant other like speak for you, and like go to try to fight your battle for you when you don't need them to do that.
Well, it's a battle that he didn't want to fight for himself, not because he was, and we see this all the time with guys doing that for girls, being like,
right.
Oh, like, well, what she means is this, and it's like, no, dude, she's she's living her life.
Right.
You're okay. You don't need to speak for her. If she needs your help, she'll ask for it. It was. I guess it was a really kind of interesting thing to see play out because usually they do this in Master of None too, where they reverse it, and she's doing it for him. It's a thing that girls have had to go through still constantly of guys like speaking for them
so
and
like flip
making
it on
matters
its head,
worse.
So flip it on its head is like kind of a good thing, I guess. An
but still,
awareness
the
thing.
takeaway
well,
is
it still sucks,
like,
but like
don't do that for people.
Right, yeah.
Man, woman, do not do... If
but I'm
somebody
saying it's
does
cool,
not need
it's
your help...
a cool thing to see it like
present
sort
it that
of
way.
reversed.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's probably the only positive of that. Because otherwise you're like, oh, dear God, dude, no, do not.
I didn't necessarily think that it was like inappropriate or out of line for her to like make fun of the other comedians in the way that she did it, because they're comedians, they can take that shit.
Yeah.
And it sort of shows that she has personality and like a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But
she was being a little mean.
Way more embarrassing that she was trying to fight Pete's battle for him.
Yeah. It was I just
And then, so like the big one at the end of the episode is they had discussed earlier that Pete had an idea for a TV show that he wanted to basically like have homeschooled kids in his garage and call it Holmes School.
Yep.
And they came up with this idea.
Ray Romano hates the idea.
He absolutely hates it.
You can see that coming a mile away, by the way. When he explains the premise for it, you're like, at some point they're either going to make the show and someone's going to point out that it's about a guy who's luring kids to his garage, or he's going to pitch it to somebody and they're going to say that. And when he meets Ray Romano, I'm like, oh, here it comes, baby. Say it, Ray. Oh, yeah, cigarette.
And speaking of Ray Romano, Pete Holmes does the classic brunch Ray Romano impression.
He does, yeah.
He yells Deborah.
He yelled Deborah. That was it.
That's it.
So good.
Loved it. But yeah, like so the final thing. Well, I guess before that was she basically put him in another embarrassing situation with Ray Romano, but he sort of like volunteered himself to be embarrassed with Ray. But like the big one at the end is that there's the advertisement that they talked about. She put it on one city bus and it is driving around the city with the advertisement for his show that does not exist. Insanely embarrassing.
I think it's funny to advertise something that doesn't exist, but
get some approval,
right?
Especially when you're Pete and that's your career.
You're carefully trying to build a brand.
Yes, it's your career, and you're going to have a city bus driving around the city, in which people are going to notice your face on the side of the bus.
Yeah, little embarrassing.
Several moments where I would have been like, absolutely not. I've known you for about a week. That's an important detail that we haven't mentioned.
Right.
They don't know each other very well. And instead, he's like, I love you.
She does. I do like her, though.
Same. I think she's very, very interesting and very attractive.
Yes, agree.
She's sort of like an acquired taste.
For sure.
When I first saw her, I was like, whoa, that's a weird-looking person. She's pale, has like really blonde, blonde hair.
So like very pale skin, yellow hair, and wears a lot of yellow.
And brown eyebrows.
Oh, okay. But I was going to say just really like kind of like a very muted look. Yes. But I think she's very, very pretty.
Yes. And great body. As we noticed during the too many sex scenes.
I did not see it because my hands were covering my eyes.
Fair enough. But Crashing is a great show if you have not jumped on board yet. It's been a while since we talked about it, but I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Also, the John Wick franchise.
Oh, now. Oh. Nice to meet you. Where you been? I could show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven, sin. Saw you then, I thought, oh my God, look at that face. You could be my next mistake. Love's a game, wanna play. New money, suit and tie. I can read you like a magazine. Ain't it funny how rumors fly? And I know you heard about me, so let's be friends. I'm dying to see how this one ends. Grab your passport and my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend. It's gonna be forever or go down in flames. You tell me when it's over if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players. Oh, you know I love the players. 'Cause you know I love the players. Woo! Oh, and you love the game. 'Cause we're young and we're reckless, and we'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, baby, or with a nasty scar. I got a long list of ex-lovers, and they'll tell you I'm insane. But I got a blank space, baby. Oh, I got a blank space, baby. Oh, I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Cherry lips, crystal skies, I could show you incredible things. Stolen kisses, pretty lies. You're the king, baby, and I'm your queen. Whoo! Find out what you want, be that girl for a month, but the worst is yet to come. Oh no, I'm screaming, baby, I'm crying. Perfect storms, I could make all the tables turn. Rose garden filled with thorns, keep you second guessing like, oh my God, who is she? I get drunk on jealousy, but you'll come back each time you leave. 'Cause darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream. Whoo! So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, mama, and they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players. 'Cause you know I love the players. Whoo, oh you know I love the players, and you love the game. Oh, 'cause we're young and we're reckless, and we'll take this way too far. And I'll leave you breathless, or with a nasty scar. I got a long list of ex-lovers, oh, and they'll tell you I'm insane. But I got a blank space, baby. I got a blank space, baby. Ooh, I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Boys only want you if it's torture. Don't say I didn't warn you. Boys only want love if it's torture. Don't say I didn't warn you. Ooh, so it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, oh, if the high was worth the pain. Ooh, I got a long list of ex-lovers, mama, oh, and they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players. You know I love the players. Oh, you know I love the players, and you love the game. Oh, yeah. Oh, you love the game. Oh, yeah, you love the game. Ooh, oh.
That was surprised was a switch, dude.